Okay, here are your Pre-Algebra 8.3 notes. So Unit 8 is all about data, and 8.3 is back to interpreting some scatter plots. So this says Jose's math teacher plots student grades on their weekly quizzes against the number of hours that they say they studied. So all that means is quiz scores and studying are the y and the x-axis. Okay, so then they plotted the data. What does the line's y-intercept represent? So we're going to look at the y-axis. The y-intercept is right here, a little bit above 55. Looks to me like it's maybe 56-ish. So what it tells us is, let's look at the y-axis. It's quiz scores. So if the quiz scores starts at 56 and then the line increases from there, then what it should tell you is no one got lower than 55, or else it would have started lower. I mean, I understand these data points are a little bit lower, but where it hits the y-axis, where our line hits it, is about 56. So the lowest quiz score is at 56. So it would be the student's expected quiz score if they spent no time. So if they spent 0 time, their quiz score would be expected to be 56. So that is A. Okay, obviously it wouldn't be how many hours they spend studying all year, or 1 hour, or every additional hour. That's more like the slope. Okay, the second question, the line is drawn in, and it says that Audrey has a part-time job at an ice skating rink selling hot cocoa. She decided to plot the number of hot cocos sold relative to the day's temperature. What does, once again, the y-intercept represent? So we're going to go to the y-axis. That is about right here where it hits, right there. And this would be at 0 degrees on the high temperature. So the high temperature goes to 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on, but it starts at 0. So on the y-axis at 0 degrees, you would expect to sell a little bit under 110. So the temperature when 0 hot cocos are sold? No. It's not the temperature, it's the hot cocoa amount that's sold. So the prediction of the hot cocoa sold when the temperature is 0. This is it. Okay, let's turn the page and let's look at this question. This one says, the scatter plot shows the length of 8 people's femur, which is the long bone in your thigh, and their height in centimeters. So their femur length and their height. They're asking, what is the meaning of the y value when x is 45? So we need to go to when x is 45, and we want to know, what does the y value mean? So let's go to when x is 45. And the y value would be right here where it hits at 45. So 45 comma, these are your y's. These are our true data points, and this is the point on our line of fit. So let's look at our question, or our selection choices. An expected height of 45 when the femur has a length of 169. No, we're looking at femur length of 45. Femur length is down here at 45, so that doesn't even make sense. That says the height is 45. No. The height of an actual person with a femur length of 45 would be almost 170. Is that true? Yeah, actually. Right where it hits our line is really close to 170. So this, at a femur length of 45, we would expect our data based on our line to be almost 170. So that is going to be the correct answer. Okay, let's take a look at number 4. The math teacher plots student grades on their weekly quizzes based on the number of hours they say they studied. Quiz scores, hours that you studied. We want to find the meaning of the y when x is 1. So when x is 1, what does the y mean? So let's go to the x-axis 1, and let's see what the y-axis would mean. So this is where it would hit. So we'd be reading off to the side to see about what your quiz score would be expected to be. So if you spent 1 hour on homework, your quiz score would be expected to be right there between 60 and 65. So a prediction of a student's score if they spent 61 hours? No, we're saying we spent 1 hour. A student's actual quiz score after spending 61 hours again? No. A prediction of a quiz score if they spent 1 hour of homework. A student's actual quiz score spending 1 hour. Okay, if it was an actual score, then there would be an actual piece of, like an actual circle, like an actual piece of data here. But there's not. There's just a line of best fit. So we're predicting based on our line. Now, again, if there was an actual dot like there are here, if there was an actual dot here, it would be that kid's actual score. But because it's just where our line is, it's a prediction of where it would be. So this one is going to be C. Okay, let's turn the page and let's look at the next part that you're going to have to do on your Delta Math. This part says, same thing. Same girl. Math teacher, plots, scores, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this time, what is the X value when Y is 95? So we're asking, where would it hit on the X-axis this time if our Y is 95? So we this time need to go to the Y-axis, go to 95, and read straight across, which it never really hits. You would have to assume that this line is going to keep going. So where would it be is what they're saying. Like if you wanted to see what would be at 95 when it hits your line, where would they meet? And so you're basically asking where it would be down here. So are you predicting a student's actual score after spending 95 hours? No, this 95 is quiz score. So this is when they got a 95 on their quiz score. We're saying how many hours must they have studied. The number of hours spent before earning a 95 on the quiz. We don't have a data point for that though. So to say actually, I mean, we don't have an actual dot. We're just continuing our line. So let's see if we have a better answer. The number of hours spent should spend if they expect to get a 95. Okay, this is following our trend line. It should end up with that, but we don't have an actual data point, so we're just following the line. So that's why it's C. Okay, number 6. A researcher studied the relationship between the number of times a certain species of cricket will chirp. Her data is below. So chirps per minute and based on the temperature outside. We're saying what would be the X value. So what would be the X value if the Y value is 80? 80. So if the Y value is temperature, so if the temperature is 80, what would we expect? There's not an actual data point on the 80, so it's going to be a should, but I would say it should follow our line and be somewhere around here. It should be about 160 or a little bit less than 160 chirps per minute. And again, that's not actual because we don't have an actual data point there. So, but we're saying based on following the trend line, it should be somewhere around there. So the actual number of times a cricket chirps when it's that, okay, it was not 158 degrees. First of all, that would be silly to be 158 degrees out. So definitely not A. When it's 80 out, yes, but it's not the actual number because there isn't a data point there. It's the amount that it should. So here, let's look at D, the number of times it could be expected to chirp. That one's the one it is because we don't have an actual data point there. It's just where the trend would continue if we followed our line, if there was more data up here. Okay. The next section is going to be really easy. You're just going to graph in a line of best fit, so a trend line. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but you're going to draw a line in where it kind of goes through most of the points as accurate as possible. So I would maybe draw something like that. Actually, this isn't as good as what you guys could do, because really you should have the same number above it as you have below it, and I have a lot fewer below it. So a line of something like that might be better. But delta math will be a little bit forgiving. So if you're close, it should be fine. This one, I don't know. Just do your best on this one. Maybe there? Maybe-ish. That should take it. Okay. Number 9 says a line of best fit was drawn in based on the line of best fit for what y value. So what y value would x equal 12? So x is your x value is 12. So you're going to go to the x-axis to 12, and you're going to follow it up, and you're going to say, ooh, about where would this, okay, that's not very straight, but about where would this continue to be? Maybe more like that. Whatever. So you're going to guess where this point is. And if it's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-ish, I would say at 12, if you followed the trend line up, it would be maybe 13, 14, 15, 16. So I would say 16. Okay, let's check out this last one. May decides to research the relationship between the length in inches and the weight on certain species of catfish. She measures them and throws them back in the water. What would you expect a catfish with a length of 35? Okay, weight is the y, length is the x. So if she's talking about the length, then she's giving us the x. So if it's 35, what would the weight be? So we're going to go to 35. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So basically, if we followed this trend line, if that line kept going, where is this going? Where is that going to hit? So I think it's probably 38. It looks like, and these are going to be estimates. You guys, delta math should take something close because it's about. But I would say if we kept going to about 35 and you followed your trend line up, it probably is about 38. So we're going to say we would expect it to be about 38 pounds. All right, last 2 questions are Jason has a part-time job at an ice skating rink selling hot cocoa. He decided to plot the number of hot cocos he sold relative to the day's high temperature. It's kind of like one we did earlier. So here's your trend line. Here's the temperature as it gets hotter and hotter. The hot cocoa amount is going down. Nobody wants to drink hot cocoa when it's super hot out. What would you predict the high temperature to be if Jason sold 79? So hot cocos is on the y-axis, so 79 is our y. So what would you expect the x to be if the y is 79? So we're going to go to 79. That's going to be down here. Ooh, way down here. So I would, if you followed your line down, maybe expect it to be about, let's see if this is 24, maybe 25, 26, 27, 28. So I would guess about 28 degrees. And again, you should be given maybe 1 or 2 point margin of error. So it might be 29 or 27, but 28 is a pretty good guess. All right, last one. A line of best fit was drawn. Based on the line of best fit for what x value would y be 9? So if y is 9, where would x be? So on the y-axis 9, where would x be? I'd say somewhere about there-ish. If you followed your trend line up, where does that hit? Looks like if we want to go straight down, there's 10, 11, 12, I'd say 13, 14, 15, maybe about 16. And again, you're within 1 or 2 margin of error, so probably x would be about 16.